All right, guys, just got this cool looking little Craftsman in a trade. I mean, I knew it was a Craftsman, but what I didn't realize is that this thing's made in Germany. And I also knew it came with a key, and this is the side of the key that they showed in the picture, but when I flip it over, I see ABIS. So clearly it is a German-made lock with a German core. I'm not so sure about that bitting, but ABIS, you can be sure, has security pins. The other thing, if you look in here, this has a spinner plate on the front. So you can move it with a key a little bit, but that's going to keep you from, might affect your tensioning a little bit. Looks like it rotates. There's no spring tension on the core. So rotate it 90 degrees and we get an open. Looking at the plate, it looks like we might be able to take it apart too. Ball bearing, so we can't shim it. Hardened steel shackle, and let's see what we got here. Find a light. And it looks like we will be able to take it apart if we can get it picked. Let's try it. All right, so looking at this keyway, I think I'll try to use bottom of the keyway for a couple reasons. One, we got that warding there, and by putting the bottom of the keyway, it's not going to cheat me out of any working space. The other reason is because of this darn spinner plate. If you look at how thick that is, I don't have a tensioner that can get around that without blocking the keyway. So the spinner should move, and the keyway for the core is actually quite a bit below that and recessed. So I would block most of my working space. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use bottom of the keyway, and let's try the one I was just playing with here. See if that will work. That feels like it's binding. The core is not turning. And he's wedged in there. So let's try something a little thinner than that. Okay, he's not wedging. I think that will work. Yeah, the core does seem to be turning now. Let's go with that. And we know we got a German lock. Let's go with a German style pick. And I will try, let's see what we got here. Let's try this little guy. This is the multi-pick copy of the SS Dev medium hook. And they call this the, if I can get this right, the PN, it's like 05, I think that says, 6. Yeah, PN06. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we know that ABIS is probably going to have security pins. So let's see if we can use this pick to rake up at least a false set. So I'll slide it in, a little bit of tension, and let's just rake out a couple of times here real quick and see if we can't make something happen. And okay, when it starts seizing like that, that tells you you're probably hitting the back of a spool. So I probably, without realizing it, have a false set. If I can get my pick out, and he doesn't want to come out, but that's okay. We'll attack from the rear. So I'm going to pull the pick out. So now it's up against the binding pin. I'm going to try to work him under there and see if I get any counter rotation. And I do. I can feel the tensioner moving, for counter rotating. So it's a spool for sure. Come on. All right, so I'm still back in the false set. So that was one spool. I don't feel anything else up front. Because I'm in a false set, I know I'm hung up on a spool or a spool-like pin. Here we go. There's another one. There's like pin 3, getting a little counter rotation off of him. Got him. And let's find the next one. I still have a false set, so I think I'm still looking at another spool somewhere. If I can find him. Okay, he's not in the front. Okay, it feels like pin 3 popped down again. Come on, that's a very deep. And there we go. Very cool lock. So we have at least 2, possibly 3 spools. Let's find out. All I need is a very wide-bladed flat tip, hopefully to, let me move all this stuff out of the way here, to get a hold of that split nut. I think I got it. Should come out of there. There we go. Okay, this is interesting. I've never seen one quite like this before. This is the spinner. So it's got a couple of little tabs on the back of it, and this is kind of what we were fighting. So it'd be hard to get, just out of curiosity, I'm going to grab my top of the Keyway Tensioner. So if I had to use him, you can see that he would have barely, I think you can see that through the camera, he would barely have been long enough, probably would not have worked at all when you're using these spinners. So that's one of the reasons they put these guys in there. Another reason, of course, is anti-drill. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's get that tensioner out of there. Let's get that out of here. So here's that split nut I was talking about. And let's get that core out. Here we go. All right, I'm going to leave. I don't even know where that goes. All right, we'll just throw them over there. Okay, so we have a little, we do have a key. Let me just see if I can pop that ring off there real quick. If not, we'll lock it back up and we'll do it the right way. But I'm so used to doing things the wrong way that sometimes it just works out for me. Come on. That thing's really pinched in there. All right, we're going to need a disassembly tray. There's the nut, or the, all right, so I need, okay, those little holes that these little pegs went into to kind of bind the spinner to the top, to the front of that. Very cool. Very German-like. All right, I need a small follower, and we have a little split here. So what I'm going to do is turn him kind of like that. And now we also have a little gap there, but because they're spools, they shouldn't fall into it, he says, with crossed fingers. Okay, the pins are going to be on the top. Let's see what we got here. All right, this is too big. Let's try a little smaller one, see if this works. There we go. All right, we're looking at a 5-pinner. We knew that. The top of this has been filed flat. I don't know why. Okay, got 2 there. Bounce that out of there. Come on. It's got a little oil in it. It's holding these pins in place. And nothing unusual about this core. They all look smooth, and all these are standard pins. So the magic is right here. All right, number 1 is a spool. Number 2 is a spool. Number 3 is a spool. And I'll give you one guess what number 4 was. And let's take odds on number 5. He just popped out. All right, number 5 is a standard. So that's how we were able to get that initial fault set. So as soon as we raked him with that, with the hook, immediately we were in a fault set with one of these spools. Nothing in there, nothing, I don't think special. It's probably completely stock in terms of spring and everything else. So anyway, guys, there's what you're looking at. Nothing but spools. But the thing that made it challenging was this darn spinner plate and having to tension it in kind of an odd way. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay well, and stay legal. Thanks, guys.